Good morning everyone, my name is Muhammad Izzat bin Mahat and today I will be presenting about the Frankie parts which fall under the category of driven and cast in place part. So I will give you my slide and meet my team Mika Adam Dok and Muhammad Izzat and Hasnul Arif. That part is widely used in construction to support heavy loads when the surface soil is too weak. The Frankie part is unique because it combines both driving and casting in place, giving it the benefit of both systems. It is especially useful in areas where vibration control is important, such as in urban setting, near old building, or in soft ground condition. The Frankie part is also known for producing minimal noise and disturbance during installation, making it a popular choice in cities. In the next few slides, I will walk you through the step-by-step construction process supported by a visual infographic.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hasnul Arif bin Jaafar. My number ID is 2023-886066. Okay, today I'm gonna present about the purpose or function of aluminized steel. The first one is long-term corrosion protection. Aluminized steel is primarily used to protect steel structure from corrosion. The aluminum silicon coating forms a strong barrier that prevents oxygen, moisture, and corrosive chemical like salt from reaching the steel underneath. This significantly increases the lifespan of the steel in harsh environments such as coastal, industrial, and chemical settings. It also minimizes maintenance and repainting, making it a cost-effective choice over time. Okay, this one is, let's move to the second purpose. The second purpose is the excellent heat resistance. Another major function of aluminized steel is its ability to withstand high temperatures thanks to the metallurgical bond between the aluminum silicon layer and the steel core. It maintains its shape and strength under extreme heat, withstanding temperatures up to 677 Celsius and reflecting up to 80% of radiant heat. This makes it ideal for use in furnace, ovens, heating, exhaust system, and chimneys, where ordinary steel would warp or deteriorate. Okay, let's move to the third purpose. The purpose is the thermal reflectivity. Aluminized steel has high reflective properties, meaning it can bounce back a large portion of radiant heat in hot climates or high temperature industrial setting. This helps to reduce thermal stress on building materials and structural components. For example, in steel roofing system, wall cladding, and HVAC enclosures, aluminized steel helps control heat absorption, maintains internal structural temperatures, and protect nearby materials from thermal expansion or heat-related degradation. Let's move to the fourth purpose. Fourth purpose is structural durability with lightweight efficiency. Aluminized steel retains the mechanical strength of steel while gaining additional corrosion and heat protection from its aluminum coating. This makes it an ideal material for structural steel components that demand both load-bearing capacity and environmental durability. For example, in the construction of industrial steel framework such as steel trusses, portal frames, or support beams in factories or warehouses, aluminized steel offers the strength required to support roof and equipment, while also being lightweight and easier to fabricate. It is of cutting, shaping, and welding reduces labor time on site and speeds up the installation process, making it highly efficient material for modern structural steelwork. The fifth one is the cost-effective alternative to stainless steel. Aluminized steel offers many of the same benefits as stainless steel, such as resistance to corrosion and high temperatures, but at a significantly lower production cost. This makes it a preferred material in structural steelwork, especially for projects that require both durability and budget efficiency. For instance, aluminized steel is commonly used in structural support members for industrial building, cold storage facility and power plant enclosures where environmental protection is critical but costs must be controlled. It enables builders to meet structural performance requirements without resorting to more expensive high alloy steel. Let's move to the last purpose of the aluminized steel. Last purpose is the aesthetic and protective coating. The smooth, shiny silver finish of aluminized steel not only provides effective protection but also delivers a clean, modern appearance. This makes it especially valuable in architectural steelwork, where visual appeal and durability are both important. For example, aluminized steel is often used in exposed structural elements such as canopies, columns, facade frames, and atrium trusses in commercial buildings. These elements remain visible after construction, so the reflective and uniform surface contributes to a sleek industrial aesthetic while still protecting the steel from corrosion and weathering.
Next, a dry concrete plug is placed at the bottom of casing. A heavy drop hammer is then used to compact this plug, which forces the casing down into the soil. As the dry concrete is compacted, it creates a bulb-shaped base at the bottom of the pile and displaces the soil, which improves the pile friction capacity and load-bearing ability. The casing is then driven further down to the required depth using the hammer. Once the desired depth is reached, steel reinforcement, if needed, is lowered inside the casing, especially near the top part of the pile when structural connection is important. Finally, wet concrete is poured into the casing, and as the concrete fills up, the casing is slowly withdrawn, forming a strong cast-in-place concrete pile inside the ground. So I will show you my slide one by one. From positioning and casting, drop hammering dry concrete, driving the casting with plug, casting to desired depth, placing reinforcement, and concreting and casting withdrawal. So the next slide, I will show you my infographic method of construction visual summary. As shown in this infographic, the entire process can be broken down into 6 key steps. Firstly, setting the casing in place, inserting the dry concrete plug, and driving the casing with the plug, lowering the reinforcement, pouring the concrete, and removing the casing. This method ensures strong and bearing support and friction along the pile shaft. It also minimizes waste, vibration, and noise, making it very practical for modern construction. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mika Damrut Beza Kamawan. My ID number is 2023658164. Right now I want to talk about the advantages of aluminized steel in structural steel construction. The first advantage of aluminized steel in structural steel construction is excellent corrosion resistance. In structural steel frameworks exposed to outdoor weather, industrial fumes or moisture, aluminized steel product provides long-term protection by preventing rust and oxidation. This makes it ideal for use in rough trusses, exposed column, cladding and supports. in coastal or polluted environments. The second advantage is high heat resistance. Aluminized steel can withstand temperatures up to 677 degrees Celsius, making it suitable for structural applications in boiler plants, power stations, industrial buildings or factories where heat exposure is constant. It protects steel members like framing beams and mechanical supports from heat distortion or weakening. The third advantage is it can reflect radiant heat. Its 80% reflectivity helps reduce thermal load on metal roofs, wall panels, and steel enclosures, especially in hot climates or high solar exposure zones. This helps prevent thermal expansion and reduce internal building heat, improving energy efficiency. This way, they can reduce the electricity costs. The fourth advantage is strong and load bearing. Despite having a protective coating, aluminum steel retains the mechanical strength of a traditional structural steel. It can be used for load-bearing components such as portal frames, secondary beams, purlins, and platform structures without compromising on strength. The fifth advantage is cost-effective compared to stainless steel. In large projects where full stainless steel would be too expensive, aluminized steel offers similar corrosion and heat protection at a lower cost. It is often used in warehouse frames, cold storage racking, and mechanical platforms where budget constraints exist, but durability is essential. The sixth advantage is non-toxic and safe for enclosed environments. Since it contains no lead or harmful metals, aluminized steel is suitable for enclosed construction, areas like food processing facilities, kitchen duct structures, and hospital utility rooms, where structural safety and hygiene go. Okay, right now I want to talk about the disadvantages of aluminized steel in structural steel construction. The first disadvantage is limited repairability on site. If the aluminum coating gets stretched or damaged during the installation, the exposed steel underneath becomes vulnerable to corrosion. In structural applications like roof trusses or support columns, once the coating is compromised, on-site repair is difficult, and repainting won't fully restore the original protection. The second disadvantage is not suitable for heavy load bearing in extreme conditions. While aluminum steel is strong, it is not as structurally robust as high-grade carbon steel or stainless steel in extreme load or seismic conditions. For high-rise buildings, bridges, or heavily loaded columns, aluminum steel may not meet strength requirements without added reinforcement. The third disadvantage is surface oxidation. Type 1 aluminum steel with silicone may develop black oxidation spots over time, especially in high humidity or heat exposed areas. This affects the appearance of exposed structural elements such as facade steel frames, canopies, or interior truss displays in an architectural designs. The fourth disadvantage is it cannot be applied on site. Aluminum steel must be factory processed through hot dip coating, meaning the protection is also applied before delivery to the site. It cannot be manually applied or recoated on site, like spray coatings, which limits flexibility for last minute modifications in steel structural assembly. The fifth disadvantage is, while cheaper than stainless steel, aluminum steel is more expensive than regular galvanized steel, which might be sufficient for non-critical structural parts in low-risk environments. In large scale with tight budgets, galvanized steel is often preferred unless heat or corrosion risks are high. The last advantage is Disadvantage is coating thickness may vary. The thickness of the aluminum silicone can vary slightly depending on the hot dip process. In structural construction, inconsistent coating thickness may affect weldability, bolt connections, or uniform protection, especially in custom fabricated steel members. That's all from me. Thank you very much.